While the world watched the battles unfold in Africa, the real winners were never on the battlefield. They were in boardrooms, backrooms, and anonymous warehouses, turning blood into billions. For decades, warlords, child soldiers, and rebel armies tore African nations apart. But behind the chaos, a quiet economy flourished. An economy built not on oil, gold, or diamonds, but on guns. And the merchants of those guns, men you've never heard of, were becoming unimaginably rich. This is the dark, untold story of how arms traffickers profited from Africa's endless wars. From Liberia to Sierra Leone, from the Democratic Republic of Congo to Sudan, conflict has been as constant as breath. But wars don't fight themselves. Bullets cost money. RPGs don't appear out of thin air. Someone supplied them. And someone made a fortune. Often, that someone wasn't even African. During the 1990s and 2000s, a web of international smugglers funneled weapons from Eastern Europe, China, and the Middle East into the heart of Africa. These weren't government-sanctioned operations. These were black market deals, hidden behind shell companies, fake humanitarian missions, and forged end-user certificates. Viktor Bout, the so-called merchant of death, was just one face of this empire. His fleet of aging Soviet cargo planes delivered crates of assault rifles to remote jungles and deserts, fueling wars that left hundreds of thousands dead. He didn't ask why. He didn't care who. He just made the deal. And he wasn't alone. In Sierra Leone, children barely old enough to speak were handed AK-47s. In return, rebel commanders handed over diamonds, raw, uncut, and drenched in blood. These so-called blood diamonds were sold on the international market, and the profits cycled back into more guns, more violence, more death. Arms dealers didn't just sell weapons. They sold power. They turned warlords into kings. They made coups possible. In Liberia, Charles Taylor rose to power through bloodshed made possible by foreign arms shipments, many of them untraceable, unofficial, and highly illegal. The profits were staggering. According to UN estimates, the illicit small arms trade in Africa was worth over $1 billion by the late 1990s. But the human cost? It's incalculable. Civilizations shattered. Cities reduced to ash. Generations of children forced to fight, kill, and survive, if they were lucky. Even more disturbing is how few of these dealers were ever brought to justice. Some were caught. Many were not. Some simply moved their operations elsewhere, into the Middle East or Latin America. Some reinvented themselves as security consultants or logistics specialists. And some, quite simply, disappeared. To this day, weapons from those wars are still circulating. A gun sold in 1995 might still be killing someone in 2025. That's the legacy of the gunrunners, violence that outlives the wars themselves. At Trivia Tales, we uncover the hidden forces that shape history. But stories like this, they don't just shape the past. They haunt the present. Because in every conflict, someone always profits. And sometimes, the ones pulling the trigger aren't the ones you